Hey, what's going on, everyone? Choco here, and welcome back to some more Sky Factory 4. I'm a single Pringle, and I will not be mingling a whole lot, but we're going to take care of some things around the base today, as well as doing kind of a couple of neato things that I think will be good for me to refresh on, as well as actually being useful for the whole squad. So, we're going to go ahead and crack on today. I'm going to try to keep this pretty focused, so there's going to be random, well, not random, but there's going to be cuts scattered throughout the whole thing, so it's kind of a little bit more narrow in scope, so it's not quite as like sprawling. Gonna see how people feel about it. If people enjoy it, let me know. If you don't enjoy it, let me know. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens, and hopefully it's gonna go well, and hopefully it does not go horrifically poorly. So we're gonna lead off with talking about what the actual things that we are going to try to get done today. Number one, I have already done this, but I've made a matter condenser. This is going to be used for making singularities. For those of you who have no idea what the singularities are for, that's going to allow us to make quantum rings, which is the way that we connect AE2 networks across vast distances. Pretty handy, pretty important. We're also going to go ahead and make ourselves some automated things here and there. What I mean by this is that some of the automated things that we're going to be looking at making is we're going to try to make the inscriber process automated. We're going to try to make ourselves the drives automation, or the drives automated rather, because that would, I think, simplify a lot of different things in terms of storage. Like, so if we want to make an MD drive ready to go right off the rip, that's good. The 64K drive specifically will be used in the condenser to make a singularity. Don't worry, whenever we actually do it, I might explain it a little bit more, or it might make a little bit more sense. And the last thing I want to kind of get going here is I do want to see if I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I don't know if I'll be putting this on YouTube, but I would imagine that during the stream at some point I'm going to automate a couple, well, I'm going to set up a couple things with mystical agriculture, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I won't be doing anything too crazy this episode with mystical agriculture. I'm not going to fill up the farm and populate it yet, but I am going to get, I think, a little bit of something going there. Just kind of simplify things and help everything go better. But anywho, all right, so let's get started here. I just collected a bunch of lava and water buckets. We're gonna be using these to make our cobblestone generators. And if I am brained, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these into there. I'm gonna make myself some cobblestone jennies. So there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. Now you might be sitting there wondering, why, Choco, why in God's green earth do you need 4 of these idiots? And the reason actually is not that complicated or anything. It's literally because if I have 4 of these, it will go faster than having 1 or less. Not 1 or less, but like less than 4. You know, more and more cobblestone is being made. And the reason why this is going to be important is that singularities basically require you to just void out a whole bunch of items in a 64K drive, and they create singularities that way. So it's pretty, it gets a little bit pricey. It gets a little bit nutty, but it should be well worth it. And really importantly about this whole thing, whenever it comes to actually getting these cobblestone gens up, there's a couple of other things that they can be useful for, but this is going to really let us simplify our lives whenever it comes to voiding things out and not having to manually do anything with it. So should be pretty good. Also, first time we're going to be using this, as far as I'm aware, in the Modpack, item translocators. I love these things. Ever since we use them in Stone Block, I absolutely adore them. These things are great. They're great at moving large quantities of goods. Also can get some glowstone dust, because that's going to allow it to move a whole bunch of stuff in one go if memory serves, which, you know, any given day of the week, Choco Brain does not always do well, as you can see there. Also, I did the math wrong, because we're going to need a pair for each, so I actually needed to make far more of these than 4. I needed to have 8. All right, so let's go ahead, put these down. Item translocators, they're able to move things like 1 block's distance. Pretty good. They also have a sending and receiving side. So if I hit, whoops, not quite what I meant to do there, but if I do this, you'll notice that cobblestone is now flying into here. Now, I don't have a 64K drive in there yet, but I want to get this all kind of sorted out before I do anything. So let me go ahead and turn this on. Of course, this is also very, I don't know, I think this is visually very appealing. It's very nice to watch because you're watching them just fly out the speed of light. I don't know. I personally find this to be one of the most satisfying things to do in Minecraft. mod packs, but I think it's very satisfying. All right, other thing that we need to do, 64K ME drive. This, I imagine, shouldn't be too bad. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but shouldn't be too terribly bad. And of course, one of the things that we're going to be aiming to do today is to help get this whole thing started with a little bit of that automation sauce, right? So 64K means I'm going to need 3 of these, 9 of these, and then 27 of these. All right, so let me see if I can make 27 of these. I made 64, which is that is indeed a number greater than 27. I didn't think I'd be able to make that many, but I guess Artie must have made a good chunk of them. All right, and then 16Ks. We should have a, whoop. Okay, 7. Did I do the math wrong? I think I did the math wrong. I must have at some point just spaced out and done the math completely wrong. All right, so let me go ahead and put these in here. All right, cool. So we got ourselves a couple of 64K drives. We're now going to take these, house them inside, right? So we're going to want to make the actual storage thing for it, or I guess we can just make it outright. So let's go ahead and do that. 64K ME storage cell, and first objective. Oh, just kidding. I don't want them as a storage cell, actually. Lol, I did not realize. My bad. All right, so let's go ahead and take a storage component, throw it in here, and voila. ME condenser, condense into matter balls, condense into singularity. What is a matter ball? What is it? A matter ball? They're used to make paintballs? Okay. I don't know what that means. What, you thought I knew what I was doing, chat? Come on now. We know better than this. All right. Okay, so objective 1, done. Let's actually get some automation stuff going here. For simplicity's sake, I am going to set this up here. I will do I want to set it up here? Or do I set this up in the farm? Thinking. I think we would want to set it up. I mean, it's not a big deal to move it, I guess. Yeah, let's set it up here. Let me think, what would be the advantage of setting it up? I think setting it up here would be easier for the first time. Moving it, again, should not be that big of a deal, so I'm not going to be too stressed about it. All right, matter condenser, singularity done. Singularities fit within quantum rings and stuff. If you're wondering what the rest of the things that we're going to be needing look like, we're going to need a ring of these chambers. Or wait, no, I think this is the center part, and then the quantum ring itself is composed of this, so will be pretty interesting. I have no idea what that stuff right there is. Entangloporter. Any practical resource across long distances and dimensions. Is this like a tesseract? I did not know. What is a quantum compressor? What are you used for? Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and pretend we didn't see that. Okay, let me get myself the little ability thing. You know what? We might be able to just do this in one go. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. Although admittedly at this particular moment in time, we're not doing a great job of it. Go away. I don't see it. I don't know what I did with the building gadget. Could you not, like, go away? Shoo, get. Alright. I don't think. Am I just super blind? Am I? Hold on. Let's It's like, oh wait, I know where it is. I think maybe. Are you in here? No, dang it. I don't know where it is. All right, so here's what I shall do. I shall make a new one. Shouldn't be too bad. All right, so make a new building gadget. Not exactly the ideal outcome here, but hey, can't hurt to actually have a couple extra of these floating around. Put power into this one. Beautiful. You can get the slime's head. That's like the entire body. What do you mean? Game. What? Shouldn't ask questions. All right. Let's do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some wood planks out here. I'm going to go ahead and use some ironwood planks. And the reasoning for ironwood planks is that I can vein mine the thing and it shouldn't be too terribly awful. So let me go ahead, building gadget. Let me see what we're at right now. Build to me. Yes, that's what I want. Okay. Okay, cool. Whoops. And then we'll be able to take this now. Slightly differently colored floors. And I think we're gonna want a torch set here. Let's take what torches we currently have. And we're just gonna light things up just a little bit, just to make sure I don't get LOL attacked by like everything. And let's make ourselves some AE2 stuff, shall we? So I'm gonna need, oh Lord, I need to quickly dump these seeds somewhere safe because they will be important later, just not right now. And let's get some of our AE2 stuff out here. I don't know why I typed in there. All right, so I'm gonna need some glass cables. I don't know what our current situation is. 61 cables, should be enough, I imagine. I imagine that's okay. All right, so glass cables out. We're also gonna want to have ourselves a bunch of inscribers made. Inscriber-wise, we don't have to worry about making the basic inscribers to keep because the only thing that that's useful for are for the inscriber plates, the name presses. So we're gonna just go for the advanced inscribers. So I'm going to, what, we need seven logic, calculation, engineering. And then we have silicon, but silicon doesn't become anything in and of itself. So yes, okay. So I'm gonna need 7 of these bad boys. We're also gonna want the different presses. Let me see here. So calculation, engineering, logic, silicon, perfect. These will be our baseline friends. And then I'm going to want 7 of you. Wow, I actually couldn't make them outright. That's pretty awesome, to be honest. All right. Wow, it's not the presses that are holding me back. Hoppers are holding me back. Okay. So let's go ahead, get 14 hoppers, throw them in there. And then let's make ourselves some advanced inscribers. Very cool. Wow. Already really helped us out whenever he set this whole thing up. Not too bad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just make a little conga line of these boys, I think. We're going to do... Okay, I have to think about how I want to do this. So let's do them. So... Actually, how do I do it? So we need to have a side that's considered to be the output, right? Oh, we're gonna have to attach this to a brain as well. Here, we'll prototype one, and then we'll go from there, I suppose. All right, so we're gonna need an ME interface, so we can actually, you know, work with the machines. This one I know for a fact I need to do, so let's also go ahead and make 7 interfaces. I know that seems kind of crazy, but we actually do want to have 7 ME interfaces made. I am hoping that we will not. Yes, I really dislike making those things. We also should make an automation point for that. All right, so let's go ahead and say that the ME interface thing, we're just gonna have it so it feeds into the back, like so. And then let's say that theoretically the output will be, you know, magically coming from the top. let's just say. All right, so that right there should be one part. We'll make this initial one the silicon press, because silicon press is required to make the actual component in full, right? So we'll leave that in this slot. It's locked, cannot be removed with automation, which is exactly what we'd like to do. The ultimate goal here is that this slot will end up being something that we use with silicon. So we're gonna dump silicon into here. That in turn will make the silicon thing, and the output will come out here. We get an acceleration card, so it goes a little bit faster, but that should be that. Cool. So that now is all squared away. Let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to steal. Nah, I should leave that alone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make the thing that we have over yon. Yeah, we'll make an energy cell. Is that pure? Ooh. That's not really my first choice in spending that, but okay. Don't worry. No one. If you don't know what happened, don't worry. Don't worry. You're a pretty level head about it. It's totally fine. Choco totally didn't do something that was very selfish of himself. That doesn't sound like a Choco thing to do. But yeah, if you do know what I'm doing, then it was for a good cause. That's all I need to know. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so let's go ahead, say that that's all plugged in now. Pretty cool. And I'm going to require, I'm going to make some more interfaces. I will have to do this anyways at some point, but I guess we'll just take care of it now. I don't need an interface terminal. I don't know why I did that. I need terminals. I'm going to want, we can use their crafting, their pattern terminal. So we can just stop at crafting. So there we go. We literally had just one left. Feels pretty scary, man, to be honest. All right, and let's see here. Sure, I'll slap it on right here. Why not? Okay, so this will allow me to kind of make sure that I can monitor what's going on. Let's also make like a little miniature network for myself. Do I have? No, I don't. Okay, so let's make ourselves an ME drive. And do I have any storage cells just floating around? 1K, perfect. All right. And then I'm just gonna slap this right onto the back here. And this is just gonna give us some ability to hold items, right? Okay, so that's all pretty fine and dandy. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a pattern. Although, I don't have any blank patterns in there. So I need to make some patterns from AE2. I don't know why I typed in patterns plural. All right, blank pattern. Just make a bunch of these. All right, so 64 of these bad boys should be more than enough. Now, because of the way this works, you only really ever need one pattern terminal, right? Because you don't need to have like a million of these bad boys. You literally just need one, because it doesn't have any kind of like extra cost requirements or anything like that. So it's pretty straightforward to do. Because of what we're going to end up doing with this, of course. So I'm going to need to get some silicon. We have some printed silicon as well, so that should be pretty fine and dandy. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to hold on to 1. Wait, just kidding. I'm going to hold on to 2. And then I'm going to go ahead, throw this in, just confirm that I am not absolutely crazy. Okay, there it goes. I was just like, All right, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so there we have it, printed silicon. Very, very cool. So that we have the complete path, right? We have the complete crafting of a printed silicon thing. So we're gonna go ahead, go back to the pattern terminal, and we're gonna say, hey buddy, I am expecting to put in a silicon, and I expect to get a printed silicon out. I don't believe the system understands that if I do 1, it'll repeat the operation 64 times. If I want to do this 1,000 sometimes, not great, right? So what we're gonna do instead is let's go ahead and actually up this. I'm not 100% sure about this part, but I'm pretty sure that's the way this works, because I vaguely remember thinking to myself that this is not exactly optimal. So we're gonna say that if I'm gonna put in 64 silicon, I expect to have 64 printed silicon back, which should be fine. There's no deviation in the way that works. So we made ourselves a pattern. Let's put that in and see if let's see if Joko actually remembers how to do this proper. So encoded pattern, there you are. And we'll put that in now. So if I want to craft a bunch of these little nerds, I'm going to say, hey, I'd like to make 64. You know what? Let's go ahead and just put in an order for one, because what should happen? Oh, I have no crafting CPU. Lol. What should happen is that it should just say, okay, well, 1 is less than 64, so it will work, but should be able to just do one operation, be a-okay. I don't think it's going to be really too sensitive. This is me kind of doing it from memory though, so who knows? Could be horribly wrong. All right, crafting unit, cool. 64K crafting storage should be totally fine. I don't really need a CPU at this particular point, like a co-processing unit, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. That should be enough to get this operation going. So I'm going to say, hey, I'd like to do this. And then it's going to go ahead, take a bunch, throw it into here. Cool. And that's all working. Awesome. We did our first thing. So I'm probably just going to do this on stream at this point with this whole thing. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I wanted to show you all how that works. If you'd like to get your own inscribing thing going, this is how you can do so. Obviously, it would be a little more helpful if this was attached to the actual network here, but we'll get that going eventually. But this should allow us to basically go ahead, put it in order. Inscriber is going to go ahead and create our different presses. We do want 7. Now, there are ways around this, but we're going to do 7. The reason why we're doing 7 is because of the fact that if you just do 7 independent inscribers, the presses never have to move. So this component right here never has to do anything else. It can literally just sit there and do its own job. The other ones are going to be in such a way where, yeah, you're going to have different inputs going in for the final product. So whenever you, for example, want to make an engineering circuit, I think it is, right? So whenever you actually make this proper, let's say go ahead and say that we're going to go ahead and make this into a proper processor. We're going to have different components all going in for the inputs. So whenever we have this part going on, we don't necessarily need to have multiple inscribers, but it's a little bit better, I think, to have them all separated out. You can automate it with 4. I just prefer to have multiple. That way there's never a question of like each inscriber has a very specific job, so we can have all these processes running with each other. I think that's a little bit more helpful. Because of the way that this works, we can also leave independent CPUs, we could have one CPU, right? A CPU, not a co-processing unit, but a CPU as in the whole one crafting brain, so to speak. We can have independent ones here, and then 164K should be enough for each. So that all said, next objective is done. Let's go ahead and head on to the kind of other thing here. Let's see how we're doing with this as well. Looks like we still got a good way to go. And this, we do expect this to take a while, right? Because this is not going to be a quick and easy thing, unfortunately. But should be fine. Actually, hold on. I feel like there also... Was there not? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on. Professional YouTube moment. Item translocator. So, item translocators... okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. So, there are other ways that you can modify this. You can use iron, redstone, and diamonds, I think, like a diamond nugget, to change the behavior of these translocators a little bit more. I wasn't sure if there was an upgrade for speed itself, but I don't think there is, so we're just going to leave that being. Alright, so, we have ourselves basic inscribing setups done. We have for ourselves the setup for singularities. Let's go ahead. I mean, we're doing really well on time, actually. We're doing quite well on time. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple of other little housekeeping things before we go ahead and put a wrap on this episode. Checking that. That's all looking fine. Okay, cool. So, actually, I might as well get the ring components ready, right? Do I want to do that? Actually, no. I don't think I want to do that. All right. Let me think here. Because we need to have the processors made. I think that'll be easy. Oh! Let's make ourselves a 64K crafter. Because... Oh, wait! What am I talking about? Hello, brain? Question mark? How did I forget the most annoying thing? I even brought it up in this episode. We need to have, whatchamacallit? The cores. The annihilation and formation cores or whatever. I hate those things. These things are so annoying. I want to make that automated. I'm such a baby, but I freaking hate these things. All right, so let's also, yeah, we're gonna make ourselves a little extra bit of crafting doodad. This will be our freeform crafting. This will be my episode to confirm and make me feel better. Like, yeah, Choco, you actually do know what you're doing, instead of me being like, hey, other guys, would you like to, would you like to do this and make me not have to worry about it? But it's good for me to make sure I remember these things, because I certainly can forget just as easily. All right, so let's go ahead. Do I even have the cores around? Oh, wow, yeah, okay. Artie made himself quite a few of these bad boys. Because these are freeform, I don't actually care about the number that I have here, but it is, of course, pretty handy to just have a bunch on hand. So I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm going to just pretend like I'm going to be crafting them. Reasoning behind this is that if I just do it this way, I can pull it like so, and that will let me get what I need. I do not need to use super fancy quartz for this. I can use little potato quartz, right? So I'm not going to use the pure one. And then here we don't really have as much choice, and I just have to swap that out. I think that's a little bit different than what I remember, but that's fine. All right, so we're going to switch this again from a processing to a crafting pattern. I'm going to go ahead, put this into there, and I get an annihilation core. All right, so it's going to say, cool, go ahead, let this happen. I am not going to allow substitutions of this, because I do not want this thing to throw in the pure nether quartz, even though I don't think, or dictionary wise, I don't think that's the way that one works, is it? Yeah, I don't think, yeah, or dictionary wise, I don't think it would even allow that to happen, but just in case, we're going to go ahead and just say don't do that. All right, so encode the pattern. Very cool. And then likewise, we're going to go ahead and make this happen for you, even though there's no or dictionary thing that could ever happen here. All right, very cool. So we have ourselves those two patterns. I don't think we need one for terminals, really. I think that's a little bit unnecessary. Slimes, you're so annoying. All right, come here. Jump, jump. You too, come on. I want to hear your jumping sounds all day. Come on. Off the ledge, there you go. All right, so let's see here. Cores are done. Let's also throw in here our actual creation to drives, right? I suppose I can also do quartz glass while I'm doing it. I mean, no harm in doing so. 1K ME storage. These are regular Fluix crystals. Beautiful. So let me go ahead, dump this all back inside. I actually didn't even really need to worry about these. So redstone, Fluix crystal. What's this? Logic processor. Storage component. That way I can just do this all real zoom like. Okay, this thing's gonna require a calculation processor. I'll leave these two encoded patterns up here. And then some 1Ks to make that happen. This will bring us to 4, so I need 16K ME storage component now. So I'm going to need glowstone, 4K. Our first encounter with requiring quartz glass, I believe. Bruh. Okay. So 4K is in here. This is going to make our way to 16K. Very good. And then we're actually in pretty good shape here. And then 16K, I can just do this. Okay, cool. So let's make ourselves some patterns. This again shouldn't be too bad. And I think you can do this. I hate the fact that my brain just trolls me. It's like, I know that you can do it, but for some reason my brain's like, yeah, let's do it the hard way. Yes, and this is why we're recording the whole thing, because when Choco has these moments, it's really, really sad. makes me big frown, but pretty handy for me to point out that yes, we can do it in a slightly more sensible way. So let's go ahead, hop onto our pattern terminal, and let's make ourselves some patterns, shall we? So we're gonna do the 1K, switch to the 4K. Oh, you can't, you need them in your inventory. Ha! So Choco was not complete idiot bird. Okay, good. I mean, not good, but like, you know, feel a little bit more vindicated that I didn't just completely, I was like, pretty sure I did this for the reason in the first place, but maybe I'm wrong. Vindication! All right. So we just need one copy of it. That's a big thing, right? So, but we can do this to speed things up. So I can just say like, hey, let's do that. Let me move. My inventory is a mess, but don't worry, we're going to be done with it soon. All right, so this is 1, 4 to 16. Oh, it went in here, didn't it? No, it did not. What? Never pulled a 4 out? Question mark? I guess I did not. Could have sworn I did, but I suppose not. All right. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so 1, 4, 16, and then 64 for the final one. I don't know if I want to worry about the higher ones. There are higher ones because I'm pretty sure extra cells are in this pack. Yeah, like we can go up to like 16, 3, 8, 4. I mean, I guess I might as well, right? There's no harm in doing it. Oh. No, we're not doing it because I don't have the components to do it. And I don't know if I necessarily want to make... Actually, do I want to make them right now? I didn't think about it, but yeah. I guess we can prototype one. Let's see. I would need... 27 64Ks. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna worry about that. We'll upgrade them later. For our current operation, I think it'll be perfectly acceptable just to have this basic kind of thing going on. All right, so freeform, of course, making these patterns and everything all dandy, but I do actually want to properly have a crafting unit for this. The more operations that you have, the more co-processing units we want. But because we're kind of going for something a little bit more simple and low key, we're just gonna go ahead and try to, oh, dadgummit. We're gonna try to just make real simple boy, all right? That's the plan here, is that we're gonna make a freaking simple boy. You know what? Let's yeah, okay, no, I'm not gonna do it this way. Hold on. Sorry. I'm like talking to myself and I'm just kind of like trying to think about how I'm doing this. This is just the way I am. Let me go ahead and do it this way. We're gonna actually make the crafting possible, and then we're gonna kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and say we have a crafting unit. Yeah, so we'll just do, let's do a 1K. Actually, no, we have a 16K, don't we? So yeah, no, what am I doing? I know we have a 16K in there somewhere. Yeah, we'll just use one of these 16K storage things. Craft them up. Okay. This should be sufficient for now. And let's see, I've actually never run like a basic one before, because usually when we get into AE2, we're already well on our way. So actually I'm not entirely sure how this will feel or how it will work. I'm hoping it will work well, but I have absolutely no guarantee that that would be the case. All right, so let's go ahead, put our crafting storage down there. Again, we're not going to worry about the co-processing at this time. I think 1 is perfectly acceptable. Molecular assembler wise, yeah, we'll get 1 out here. And then interface, let's just go ahead and make a new one. All right, so ME interface, make another one of you. And And then we're going to go ahead and just slap you onto there, slap you onto there. And then congratulations, you are now the proud owner of these thingies. In order too. Beautiful. Cool. Alright, so what I should be able to theoretically do is I should be able to look in here now. It says craft 64K, and I should... I was really worried that we weren't going to have enough. So now I can just say this. So I can say, hey, make me a 64K. Now, don't get me wrong. This will take freaking 5 ever. I have acceleration cards, so that will hopefully make it go a little bit better. But there you go. 64K. Brings a smile to your face. So cool. Freeform is working here. Excellent. Let me think here. AE2, other things we're needing. Quartz glass. We do want to automate that process. Pure nether quartz and stuff like that, I'm not going to worry about right now. You can automate just about anything in the game with this whole process. It's weird. You just have to be kind of clever about it, which sometimes goes well, sometimes not so much. Quartz glass. Okay, so I'm going to just need 1 crushed quartz. I believe you do not need clear glass. Yeah, anything that's glass in general. So let's use peasant glass. Just kidding. Do not have any peasant glass. Explain. Do we seriously have no? Okay. Sand, please. Let's go ahead and get some sand in here. Send it to the zoom. We have a lot of cooked fish. Glass. Like glass, crushed quartz. Let's go back to the pattern boy. Make this one up. Okay, clear that one out. Quartz glass, please. Danke. And this will accept substitutions. Actually, maybe we shouldn't do that. If you crouch click, by the way, you can clear a pattern. That's what I just did right there. So if you were wondering how I just did some witchcraft, that's how. We're gonna go ahead and prevent substitution, so it's only using peasant glass rather than using like really awesome glass. Should be a good decision to hopefully be making. All right, so quartz glass pattern. Go ahead, throw that into the interface right here. Okay, there it goes. All right, so we have the cores. We have the cores. We have quartz glass. We have all the way up to 64K crafting or 64K storage component. We have the singularities going. This will just kind of leave to run over time. I'm thinking we're actually in a pretty good spot because this will continue running, and I don't need like a billion of them. I just need like a handful. So if I leave it on overnight, that should be fine. We have the ability now to craft these things on the fly a little bit more easily and not requiring a lot of back and forth. That should be good. I'm not going to do a lot of like the basic ones right now. Like for example, I could put on some things with the ultimate furnace so we can have them running and really going to town. Do I want to do that? I won't do it on the recording because there's not really a reason to do it on the recording, but I will also probably be taking a little bit of time to at some point automate the ability for us to go from inferium up to not supremium but superium, the ultimate level tier one. And the reasoning, is there insanium? I can't remember. Is insanium in this pack? It is. Okay, hold on. You're kidding me. There's what? What do you do? Excuse me. Oh, dragon egg, yeah. Okay, insanium bucket. Not really sure what the point of that is. Okay, well, it seems like it's not really useful for a whole heck of a lot, to be honest, except for getting up to the point where you can just do insanium for tool reasons as well as insanium for... Wait, can you even make them? Maybe not. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to worry about saying a whole heck of a lot. But yeah, so probably up to Supremium, or Superium rather. Supremium? Superium. Superium is what I want. Nope, Supremium. Dadgummit, I always get them confused. All right, so Supremium. And the reason why we're going to worry about Supremium, of course, is because by going to Supremium, we can go ahead and make all of the different things except for Dragon and Nether, which act a little bit differently anyways. And then we'll also have access to being able to make more tools as we need on the fly and all that good stuff. Other things that we're going to talk about for processing in the future, by the way, will be things like deep mob learning stuff, so simulation chamber, automating the process of always having polymer clay being made, maintained, pushed out, so you know whenever we push them out, these things can then in turn run, and then we never have to look back at this again. It'll just automatically take care of itself and constantly build up more matter and such and so forth. And then this should hopefully be a little bit easier. Mystical agriculture, hooking that up to the system and then saying, okay, I can make them on demand. We can make nature clusters, dye clusters, whatever the case may be. So that should be all good. And for the last thing, I don't know if we're going to do the mystical agriculture, actually. I don't really see the point in doing this right this moment, because I think I do want to wait for the guys to actually get a lot of that stuff going. And this stuff, I think, is going to be more up the alley of Dearth and Tex. In terms of it's just like, whenever it's hooking up the systems, I think it'll help them learn how the AE2 thing works and like the bigger picture thing. So should be pretty good. All right. So 41-minute episode, not too shabby. And I think I stayed pretty on task today. Let me see here. All right. So I think we're up and ready to go. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, actually, oddly enough. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like rating down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click notifications, hit the notification bell. So today we got ourselves the prototype going for the inscriber system, and kind of me making sure that I actually do remember how this whole thing works. We also got ourselves the singularities now working, because we're going to need quantum rings, and we're also going to be. We also managed to get ourselves a freeform crafting thing going. Very basic station, but freeform crafting for all the things that we have in this interface here, which is pretty nice. Should make it a little bit quicker for us to make things on the fly in the future. And other than that, I think we're all good. I'm going to go ahead and take some time while hanging out with stream, making this system a little bit more robust. And then we're also going to, I'm going to probably take a little bit of time to get a couple of other things going here and there. But I think Artie completely understands it. I just want to make sure Dearth and Tex do understand as well. So I'm going to probably let them go ahead and craft up the new patterns and stuff like that to make sure that everyone's on the same page. But yep, so that's where we are. Next time, increasing the capacity of what we're doing, hooking that up, probably getting mystical agriculture stuff and junk going. Growth crystals are quite expensive, so we probably will do a little bit of prep on our end for that as well, because growth crystals are kind of a pain in the butt. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, growth crystals are the things that are going to be allowing us to make our crops grow faster. The first tier isn't too bad. Oh, yes, the potions of swiftness and stuff. I do want to... I will not do this again. I will not be doing... I'm sorry to clap into the mic, by the way. But I'm not going to do this on recording. But I might dabble with getting this process automated so Tex doesn't have to rip out his nostril hairs getting this done, because this is pretty painful, honestly. But yeah, all right, I think we're all in good shape here. So, ooh, end crystal. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to me. We don't need... Yeah, we're not gonna work. Okay, anyways, future Choco problems, future everyone on the server problems. So thank you for watching, and as always, and most importantly, take care of yourselves, have a wonderful, safe day, and until next time, ciao for now. Real quick, because I am the big dumb, I didn't actually confirm that it completed the whole process. I was like, that's a really nice printed silicon we got there. I forgot to put an importer onto the system, because this is, of course, I assumed that because it was AE2, that it was going to be like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. It's AE2 stuff, so I guess it acts a little bit differently. I think if you were on a regular importer, it would actually know what to do with it, but if you had a regular inscriber, I think it would know what to do, but because of the fact that I think it's not technically AE2, I don't think it interacts very nicely with it, so we do need to make an import. Boy. There we are. So we're going to go ahead and make an import boy. This should be all I need. Hopefully I am correct in this. All right, so I'm going to rip this out just for a hot second. That is really disconcerting every single time I do this because it is really weird that that does not make sound. Okay, reattach that, and then I'm going to put let's put the crafting terminal in like a little bit of a different spot here. Let's just put it, not what I want. Okay, so we'll just put it over here to the side where it's kind of happily doing its own thing. All right, and it's going to go ahead and just hold on. Get that back. And then as you can see here, crafting status. Well, I guess you guys didn't see it if you're watching on YouTube, but it did say that we had a crafting thing going there. But now we've gone ahead, imported it back into the system. We were 64 printed silicon. So for those of you who are like, wait, Choco, you forgot the import. Don't worry. Don't worry. I remembered eventually. Took me a minute, but we got there. But anyways, take care, everybody. Hello again. Sorry to have a second additional thing to say, but PSA, because I didn't know this was a thing. After we had the import bus, I was like, great, everything's looking great, whatever. We continued testing with it, and we're kind of messing around with the other, like adding the other inscribers and everything rocking and rolling here. It turns out, as it were, that apparently you need to have power directly put onto the inscriber. Inscribers will communicate amongst themselves, but they do require a power source directly into the inscriber. So we added in this class cable here, so this one's powered and it's relaying the power to everything else. But you do need it to be directly onto the actual system. It cannot go through the import bus. It cannot go through the interface in the back. In our case, it's in the back. But you need to have it directly wired. So if you have run into this problem, that's why you're running into the problem. I didn't know this was a thing. I find this very stupid and strange, but